Hey, besties. Okay, we need to talk. I did something this week that I have not done, goodness, probably for years. And it was because I had the absolute worst reading week that I think I have had in a very long time. Like, you know what my hauls are like. I bring home giant hauls. And this is the reason I do that, because every now and then I get in a reading slump and everything I read just is not doing it for me. With the exception of a few, I still haven't read the Carter Wilson book, Girl in 2A or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but I think I will probably like that one because it's Carter Wilson and I've liked everything of his that I've read so far. So with the exception of that one, everything I brought home in that haul just wasn't doing it for me. I tried, I gave them a fair shot. I read a couple chapters. Some of them I read more than that even, and it just wasn't doing it for me. So when I got down to like one book left, I panicked and I went to the library for the second time this week. I haven't done that in a long time. And I went and I just browsed for a long time, browsed through the new book section and just really took my time trying to find stuff that I thought would do it for me. I am happy to report I was successful. So I came home with my second library book haul this week. There was one book out of that whole stack last week that I did absolutely love. So I will talk about that one. A Serial Unaliver's Guide to Marriage. This book was so much fun. I do highly recommend this. This is a relatively new book that has come out. It's still a 14-day book at the library, so that's how you know it's new. This is just such a fun concept. These two serial unalivers were both doing this when they met each other, and so they teamed up and they only unalive. It's kind of like a vigilante justice sort of thing. They only unalive bad people. They don't, which of course I don't endorse vigilante justice, but it's just a fun read. Okay, so then she gets pregnant and so they make a pact that they're going to stop doing this because they don't want to end up in jail and their daughter end up in the foster system. So but it's very hard for both of them to stick to this pact because they both really got a lot of satisfaction out of it. This was just sort of their thing, and it was very hard for them to stop. So she especially is struggling with stopping, and one day she does unalive a guy who has tried to attack her, but she tries to hide it from her husband because she doesn't want him to know that she broke the pact, and she's afraid that he will divorce her and their family will split up. It turns out they're both keeping a lot of secrets. It ends up having a very good, happy ending. It's just a lot of fun. It's funny and it's a unique plot. I definitely highly recommend this one. I gave it 5 stars. That was the only thing out of that whole haul that I loved. So there you go. Okay, so what we're going to talk about then today is our new book haul. I have already read a couple of these out of the new book haul. They did get me out of my reading slump, I'm happy to report. The first one, I'm a Swiftie, and I know one of my besties, Anthony, is also a Swiftie. So shout out to my fellow Swiftie, Anthony. Long Live by Taylor Swift. I mean, not by Taylor Swift, excuse me. I wish, see, this is my wishful thinking. If she would put out an autobiography, I would snatch that thing up so fast. This is not an autobiography. I'm sorry. I said by Taylor Swift. I wish. No, it's about Taylor Swift, not by Taylor Swift. But this is a Swiftie who wrote this. It's just so much fun. The whole book is very colorful. She has things like how to dress. She goes through each era, she talks about fan moments when she talked to different fans who actually met Taylor Swift. And their experiences. She talks about her experience when she got to meet Taylor Swift. She talks about the different boyfriends and describes how, different songs are believed to be about different boyfriends, although they're not actually. Taylor has never actually confirmed that is the case. She talks about, just so many things. She talks about the Easter eggs, the different clowning moments where Swifties have thought that they found certain symbolisms and turned out they were wrong, and it was really just hilarious. It is just such a fun book. It is in no way, if you love Taylor Swift, you will love this book. Just plain and simple. Like, it's not, initially when it came out, I didn't go for it right away because I thought it's probably just stuff that I already know and not really that interesting. If it were actually written by Taylor Swift, it would be better. Well, I was wrong. This was fantastic. If you love Taylor Swift, you'll love this. Oh, Smokey wants to go out. Okay, baby. Excuse me one moment while I let Smokey out of the bedroom. There we go. Okay. She has decided to abandon me. She was sleeping back there on that electric blanket, but she has decided to abandon me. I don't know if I can do this without her in the room. We'll see. Then, and it does turn out that usually when I am in a reading slump, a memoir is what will get me out of it. For whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe just because it's different. Maybe I just needed a break from all the thrillers, I don't know. So the next book in my haul, and that I also have already read, is The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. Again, this is one of those that when it first came out, I thought, I don't know if it would be that interesting. And the reason I didn't think it would be that interesting is I had heard, and it does turn out to be true, that the book is not mainly about her time on Gilmore Girls. So I thought, I don't know that I would like it because that was my main interest. Usually when I read an autobiography by an actor, it's because I want to hear about their experience on the show and all those juicy behind the scenes tidbits, So I thought I wouldn't really like it. Well, I decided to give it a try, and I'm glad I did. It turns out she's still alive. She has had a very interesting life. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. Yes, she's had a very interesting life. It was a very interesting story. She's a very strong female character. I just really enjoyed this book. And I put a little sticky note in here because, she ultimately, her second marriage ended up being very good. The first guy she married, she really regrets marrying. That ended up being a dreadful mistake. But the second guy, it was so sweet because at this point they were both really old. I think he was in his 80s. But he was just such a sweet guy. And as he was nearing the end of his life, they had both taken turns taking care of each other when they had health problems and things like this. But she says that Lee did his damnedest to take care of me while I healed, but nothing made quite as much of a difference as the day he looked at me and said, "I love you so much it makes me want to cry." Pain or no pain, Walker or no Walker, I'd never felt so powerful and so invincible in my life as I did at that moment. I still relive it and it still fills me up. Is that not the sweetest thing you have ever heard? I was just like, oh my goodness, that is just so, very good book. Again, highly recommended. Okay, and now what I am currently reading, Love Letters to a Serial Unaliver by Tasha Coriel. Again, this was one that I shouldn't pay attention to reviews on Goodreads or Amazon because I don't know those people. I don't know their reading taste. I pay attention to booktubers because I get a feel, the more I watch them, I get a feel for the types of books they like, and I'm able to tell how our interests align. And that's what really, those are the people's opinions you should more so pay attention to because you know that your reading tastes are similar. And so you can better get a feel for whether you might like the book or not. Well, I had seen negative reviews of this, so I thought I wouldn't pick it up. Well, so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm on page 70 and it's really pretty fun. This is, I can't read the first part of it because there's a sticker from the library on it. Let's see. Here we go. Recently ghosted and sick of watching her friends fade into the suburbs, 30-something Hannah finds community in a true crime forum that's on a mission to solve the unalivings of 4 women in Atlanta. After William, a handsome lawyer, is arrested for the unalivings, Hannah begins writing him letters. It's the perfect outlet for her pent-up frustration and rage. The exercise empowers her and even feels healthy at first, until William writes back. Hannah's interest in the case goes from curiosity to obsession, leaving space for nothing else as her life implodes around her. After she loses her job, she heads to Georgia to attend the trial and befriends other true crime junkies like herself. When a 5th woman is discovered unalived, the jury has no choice but to find William not guilty, and Hannah is the first person he calls upon his release. The two of them quickly fall into a routine of domestic bliss. Well, as blissful as one can feel while secretly investigating their partner for serial unaliving. Then I got a copy of Want to Know a Secret? Love Mom. Ileana Zander. I have never read anything by her. I am very, very curious to see if I like her writing at all. It certainly sounds very good. Mackenzie Casper is a brilliant student, but she is best known for her mother, a best-selling author, whose dark, twisted thrillers have a dedicated worldwide fan base. When her mother dies in an accident, fans across the world are left grieving, and the investigators are asking, was that really an accident? The day of the memorial service, Mackenzie gets the first mysterious envelope signed from #1 fan, XOXO. Inside are the pages of her mother's diary. I love when a plot includes pages from a diary. I don't know why. I just do. Love it. With the lines, want to know a secret? Love Mom. What Mackenzie reads leaves her in shock. Then comes the second letter, and the third. Mackenzie starts her own investigation and stumbles upon secrets that her family has lived with for years. Quickly, she realizes that her mother's path to stardom was etched with sinister lies that might have caught up with her. Sometimes fame is worth an unaliving or worse. Soon, Mackenzie will come to find out that there are worse things than unaliving. Sounds very, very good. I hope it's as good as it sounds. Then this one, again, is one that I was reluctant to pick up, but I am going to give it a try. I've heard, again, a lot of negatives, so I'm not sure if I'll like it, but I decided to give it a try. We'll see. The Last One at the Wedding by Jason Rukulak. I don't know. We'll see. It's been 3 years since Frank Satowski, boy, that's a name, last heard from his daughter, and he's devastated by their long, unhappy estrangement. But then an unexpected phone call from Maggie changes everything. She says she's getting married, and she wants her father to walk her down the aisle. Frank is overjoyed by the news. Here at last is a chance for reconciliation, a perfect opportunity to repair their fractured relationship. But a disturbing discovery about his future son-in-law leads Frank to wonder if Maggie is making a terrible mistake. And once he arrives at the wedding, an extravagant 3-day affair set at a luxurious lakefront estate, the warning signs keep piling up. Can Frank unravel the truth about Maggie's fiancé before it's too late? An edge-of-your-seat thriller that delves deep into love, marriage, and family ties. The Last One at the Wedding offers nonstop surprises and brilliant suspense. We shall see. Then I love the cover of this one. Why do I always love broken glass covers? I don't know. I just do. Truth, Truth, Lie. It's a game of life or death. Claire McGowan. Amir is less than thrilled to be spending the weekend with her husband's university friends. 2 of them are hosting a joint 40th on a private Scottish island with vintage champagne, expensive gifts, and soaks in the wood-fired hot tub. Despite the luxury, Amira knows she's going to feel left out, not to mention freezing cold and cut off. when they decide to play two truths and a lie, anonymously posting 3 statements about themselves into a box, years of resentment start bubbling to the surface, and then an extra slip of paper emerges, scrolled with 3 chilling threats. Who wrote it? And are 2 of the statements really true? Have they all been responsible for someone's death? With no phone reception and no way off the island, the group are trapped here until the end of the weekend. And as tension rises and secrets are spilled, they can't shake the feeling that they're not the only ones here. Is someone watching them? Someone who wants them dead? Or is it one of them who has unaliving in mind? Then I thought the plot of this sounded really good, so I put this one on hold. In an Instant by Suzanne Redfern. Very pretty wintry cover there. Life is over in an instant for 16-year-old Finn Miller when a devastating car accident tumbles her and 10 others over the side of a mountain. Suspended between worlds, she watches helplessly as those she loves struggle to survive. Impossible choices are made, decisions that leave the survivors tormented with grief and regret. Unable to let go, Finn keeps vigil as they struggle to reclaim their shattered lives. Jack, her father, who seeks vengeance against the one person he can blame other than himself, her best friend Mo, who bravely searches for the truth as the story of their survival is rewritten, her sister Chloe, who knows Finn lingers and yearns to join her, and her mother Anne, who saved them all but is haunted by her decisions. Finn needs to move on, but how can she, with her family still in pieces? And then I got another one by Carter Wilson because so far I have really been loving his books. I haven't yet disliked one. So, The Boy in the Woods, very cool cover. In 1981, 3 14-year-old boys witnessed a horrific unaliving in the Oregon woods near their homes. Sucked into becoming accomplices to the subsequent cover-up, they swear never to talk about what happened. 30 years later, Tommy Devereaux has become a best-selling author using writing as his therapy. Finally, he is ready to tell the world what happened, even if he disguises the unaliving as fiction. That's never a good idea, by the way, if you're trying to cover one up. But his life is set to unravel when he is approached by a woman who asks for his autograph, leaving behind a note which reads, "You didn't even change my name." Tommy's worst nightmare has come true. A figure from his past has returned, threatening to divulge his darkest secret unless he agrees to do everything she asks of him. Thus begins a deadly cat and mouse game that can end only with one or both of their destructions. And love the cover on this one. Leave the Lights On by Liv Anderson. I don't think I've read anything by her, or if I have, I don't remember. So she can't be that good. No. Cape Morgan, Maine is the utopian ideal for charmed life, and Beatrice Wicker knows it. The multi-million-dollar house on the seacoast. The joint bank accounts, the safety and security that go along with being married to an esteemed architect and community leader. The scenic coastline, perfect for her ambitious plan to turn an abandoned asylum into an artist retreat. So what if her husband sneaks off to see his second family now and again? Beatrice is willing to look the other way. It's simply the price she must pay to keep their life together. Josh doesn't realize that Beatrice knows about his other life. That's just one of Beatrice's secrets. And now, that truth, along with a deadly host of other secrets from the past, is about to upend their false paradise. When there's an explosion at the local elementary school playground and a 2-year-old boy is abducted, it doesn't take Beatrice long to make the connection between the missing boy and her husband. It was the son from Josh's other life who was kidnapped, and Josh can't do anything about it without revealing the truth. Helping Josh find his son would destroy the facade of her perfect marriage and could put more children's lives in danger. But that's not all. It would reveal her deeper secret. Beatrice Wicker is not who she claims to be. Does that not sound absolutely fantastic? I hope it's as good as it sounds. The Rule of Three by E.G. Scott. Also love this cover. Is that not a cool cover? Three couples, a book club, and a poker night gone horribly wrong. Packed with gossiping neighbors. Ooh, you had me at gossiping neighbors. Shifty spouses and shocking turns. This is the summer read that will have you desperate to find out who did it and why. Once a week in Kingsland, an exclusive gated community full of unscrupulous residents looking to do business away from prying eyes, three women get together for book club. On the same night, their husbands meet up for a card game, where much more is being plotted than anyone could imagine. But on this particular night, things take a harrowing turn when all three men end up dead or gravely injured, and every neighbor has a possible motive. Oh, this sounds right up my alley. Oh my goodness, this sounds good. No one seems able to answer the only question that really needs asking. Who finally took matters into their own hands? The Rule of Three is a riveting tale, not only of powerful women, ooh, I like that, and vengeful men, but of secrets, blackmail, outsized egos, bad business deals, and the most intimate desires spilling out into the light of day. That sounds fantastic. So wish me luck this week, that I have a fantastic reading week, and it doesn't end up like last week was, because I don't think I've had that bad a reading week in a very long time, when I actually have to go back to the library a second time in the same week. Like, whew, that's bad, especially when I bring home as big a stack as I do. Like, oh my goodness. Okay, so I will see you next time, besties. Bye.